What was the drive like coming over? Did it go by quick? Did it go by slow?
No, it went by quick. My girlfriend and I made it last night. But yeah, I mean, we were reminiscent of all our times here in West Palm and in Houston. So it was fun. We're getting phone calls of people excited for me and excited to be back in Houston.
What did Toronto do for you? I know you mentioned yesterday you were grateful, but like, what did they do for you as a player?
Yeah, I mean, first off, it was a great clubhouse of guys to be in. Similar to here, where you have great veteran leadership presence and a good mix of personalities between the younger guys. Feel like there, everybody you're encouraged to be yourself, much like you are here, and everybody just pushed each other to get better all through last year. And obviously, when you do things like that, good things are going to happen. And we made a great run in the postseason, so. I feel like I experienced there what everybody talked about when I was here about postseason runs and how special those deep, playing in World Series and playing in really meaningful games are at the end of the year. I got to experience that firsthand. So excited to get there with Houston now.
Joe and Dana both mentioned yesterday that offensively you've made some strides and you're trending upward there. I guess what specifically in Toronto do you think you, I don't know if fixed is the right word, but adjusted and kind of made better?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I feel like I'm in the big leagues and, have had a little bit of success in the big leagues because I'm always trying to get better and always trying to improve. I feel like last year when I was in AAA for the first half of the year, there was a conscious effort to improve my contact. And then once I was up in the big leagues, I feel like I let, kind of the contact and the power that I've had, historically kind of blend together and meet somewhere in the middle. So I think for me, it just was continuing to refine my approach, finding, a comfortable athletic setup, and then just kind of letting my instincts and athleticism take over from there. I felt like I covered fastballs, four seams, kind of like I always felt like I had in the big leagues last year, and, was able to work off of that.
Was it mostly set up? Just talking about making more contact, and obviously the strikeout rate in the majors last year was down a lot. Was it mostly set up, or was there anything else mechanically that made it?
I think for me, it's just, continuing to hone my approach too. I feel like the more at bats you get in the major leagues, the more, you understand how guys are going to pitch you and, where in the zone to look for certain pitches and where not to look. And for me, I just think, the more experience I get there and, the more comfortable you get. And took it into the offseason just trying to build on, some of the movement patterns and setup stuff that helped me kind of feel free and athletic up at the plate.
People react to being traded very differently just across the sport. I guess I wonder, like, when you got traded from here, I guess how did you react to that, and what is it like now coming back to the place that traded you away in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely surprised. I think about, that night and how emotional I got, and I don't know, it caught me by surprise, and I don't think I had really been exposed to the business side of the game at that point. I took a ton of pride in being, a homegrown player and getting to play, all through the minors with this team and get to debut and play in the major leagues with that team. And I still take a lot of pride in being a homegrown Astro. So I felt like it was easier, the second time around. And, you've seen a little bit of the business side. You see how things can change. And when they said that I was going back to Houston, I was relieved just because I know, one, the clubhouse that I was going back to, and two, just kind of felt that sense of pride, and I was going back to where everything started. So I was excited, and looking forward to be back here.
Did this deal come as a surprise to you?
I mean, I think anytime you're traded, you're not expecting that day, hey, maybe tomorrow I'm wearing a different colored, Nike shirt or whatever it is. But no, I mean, you always are aware it can happen. And when you have a missed call late at night from your GM, I think you're calling him back knowing what the conversation is going to be. So, no, I mean, I think I've been exposed to it now.
Did Shea have too high of a price on town?
No, we haven't talked about it. I'm gonna roll with 31 here for camp, and no, I'm not really too focused on that, but maybe a couple surfboards.
I assume you figure you're just going to play all three outfield spots, and is first base even in the mix anymore for you, or?
Yeah, I think for now I'll be focused on the outfield, and I feel like I always have first base in my back pocket. Is something that I worked on a little bit when I was here, and in AAA I've played. So I don't think I'll ever lose that, but for right now, just focused on the 3 outfield spots.
Well, for those of us that didn't hear you talk about it throughout the run, what was it like just to be around that run last year to the World Series and just to have not an entire country behind you, maybe instead of like just a city or
Yeah.
something like that?
Well, I imagine that Houston feels like it's an entire country during the postseason when they're making a run, hearing what those fans were like during the regular season. But I think at that point in the year, like, you know, everybody's a little banged up, everybody's a little tired, but, you know, you're feeding off the energy that the city provides, and you're feeding off, you know, the energy that's in this clubhouse. So, yeah, I mean, you just try and soak it in. I'd always heard guys when I was here talk about how special, you know, those runs are and how much it brings the team together, and, you know, you can kind of carry that momentum into the next year. So, you know, I'm incredibly motivated to get that with this group here. So.
There were a lot of angry Astro fans when you got traded. Did you see that? And what did you, if you did, what did you think about it?
I mean, you just take it as a compliment, you know, for people to be invested in your career and follow you along the way, all through the minors, you know, wherever you are, Houston or Toronto. I feel like both are unbelievable fan bases and people that, you know, aren't just fans, but really follow and take pride in, you know, knowing the game of baseball. So, yeah, you just take it as a compliment. I don't think my parents changed our dog's collar at home. I think it had been Astros even when I was with the Blue Jays, so it worked out.
Oh, man. What's the dog's name? It's not Astro. is it?
Scout.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
Scout.
That would have been